Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready to really get into it with social media marketing today.
Yeah, let's go deep.
Love it. So we've been digging into Mick Black's book, Social Media Marketing, 9 Easy Steps.
Great book. So much good stuff in there.
It really is. But, we don't want to just rehash the 9 steps. We want to unpack them,
Totally.
see how they actually work in the real world.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that really struck me was how Black talks about constantly adapting your strategy.
Right, right. You can't just set it and forget it. Things change way too fast in the digital world. It's
Yeah.
like almost every week there's some new trend, some new algorithm update.
Totally.
Yeah.
So how do we even start to wrap our heads around this ever-changing landscape?
Yeah,
That's actually Black's first step, right? Understanding the social media landscape as it is right now.
exactly. And the first thing to realize is you don't need to be on every single platform.
Right. Because I think a lot of people feel like they have to be everywhere all at once.
Yeah. It's a common mistake. I mean, it can be tempting, right? You feel like you're missing out if you're not on TikTok or whatever the latest hot platform is.
Definitely. But you're saying it's more strategic to be more focused.
Exactly. Think about it. Where does your ideal customer spend their time online?
Makes sense.
It's about going where your audience is and not trying to be everything to everyone.
Okay, so you figured that out. You know where your people are. What's next?
Well, you got to have a plan, right?
A roadmap.
Yeah. And Black's second step is all about setting clear goals and objectives. And not just any goals. We're talking SMART
The
goals.
SMART goals.
Yeah. So that's specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. It's easy to say, oh, I want more followers.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Right, but what does it actually mean? A SMART goal would be something like, I want to increase my Instagram followers by 15% in the next quarter by posting 3 times a week and running a monthly contest.
Ooh, I like that. Very specific.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got our SMART goals. We know where our audience is. Now we need to think about content, right?
Absolutely. That's step 3 in Black's book. Identifying your target audience.
And I think this is where it gets really interesting because everyone throws around the term target audience. But what does it really mean to understand your audience on a deeper level?
It's about going beyond just their age, their gender, their location. It's about understanding their psychographics, their values, their interests, their lifestyle.
It's like what makes them tick?
Exactly. What are their pain points? What are they passionate about? What kind of content are they already consuming?
I see. Because if you can figure that out, then you can create content that they'll actually want to engage with.
Right. Which brings us to Black's fourth step, creating engaging content.
Yes. And, I love how Black compares content to a party invitation.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Because if your content isn't enticing, no one's going to show up to the party.
Exactly. It has to grab their attention, offer them something valuable, and make them want to stick around.
So how do we do that? How do we create content that actually cuts through the noise?
Well, for starters, it needs to be informative, of course.
Yeah.
But it also needs to be engaging.
What does that look like?
Think storytelling, visuals, humor. Ask questions, run polls, create content that sparks conversation.
So it's about making it a two-way street.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so we've got great content, but now we need to make sure people actually see it, which brings us to Black's fifth step,
Yeah.
leveraging platform-specific features.
Right. This is where really understanding the nuances of each platform comes into play.
Like you were saying earlier, it's not a one-size-fits-all approach.
Definitely not. For example, on Instagram, you might focus on using Reels or Stories to reach a wider audience. On LinkedIn, you might share thought leadership articles or participate in industry-specific groups.
So it's about playing to the strengths of each platform.
Exactly.
And I think it's also important to stay up to date on new features as they roll out.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one. Because those early adopters often have a huge advantage.
So we're creating great content. We're using the right platforms. We're using all the cool features. But then there's the consistency piece, which, let's be honest, can be a struggle.
Oh, tell me about it. Consistency is key, but it's definitely easier said than done.
So how do we stay on top of it?
Well, think of it like staying in touch with a friend.
Okay, yeah.
If you only reach out to them once a year, are they really going to feel like you value that relationship?
Probably not.
It's the same with your audience on social media. You need to show up regularly to stay top of mind.
Right, it builds trust and familiarity.
Exactly.
Okay, so then we get to one of my favorite parts, engaging with your audience. I really appreciate it when brands take the time to respond to comments, answer questions, just be human.
Yeah, that personal touch makes a huge difference.
It does. So what are some ways that we can really foster that sense of community and connection with our audience?
Well, responding to comments is a great start, like you said, but you can also host Q&A sessions, run polls, go live, get people talking.
And not be afraid to address negative feedback.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's all about showing that you're listening and you care.
It's about transparency, too.
Definitely.
Okay, so we're posting consistently, we're engaging with our audience. Now we need to figure out what's actually working, right? Which brings us to Black's seventh step, analyzing performance metrics. I feel like this is where a lot of people get intimidated, myself included.
Oh, I get it. It can feel overwhelming, all those numbers and charts, but it doesn't have to be scary.
So how do we make sense of all the data?
Well, first, you need to know what to look for. Focus on key metrics like engagement rate, reach, website clicks, things like that.
And these metrics can tell us what's resonating with our audience.
Exactly, and what's not working, so you can adjust your strategy accordingly.
Okay, so it's all about being data-driven, not just relying on gut feeling.
Right.
Now, circling back to what we talked about at the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
the digital landscape is constantly evolving.
Mm-hmm.
So Black's final step is all about adapting and evolving your strategy too.
Yep, you gotta stay flexible.
How do we do that? How do we stay ahead of the curve?
It's about continuous learning. Stay informed about new trends, algorithm updates, changes in user behavior.
Any tips on how to do that?
Subscribe to industry blogs and newsletters. Follow thought leaders on social media. Attend webinars and conferences.
Got it. Soak up as much information as you can.
Exactly.
Okay, so to recap Black's 9 steps, we need to understand the social media landscape, set smart goals, identify our target audience, create engaging content, leverage platform-specific features, be consistent, engage with our audience, analyze performance metrics, and adapt and evolve our strategy.
Wow, that was a great summary.
Thanks. I think I got it all.
You did. But now I have a question for you and for everyone listening. How can you take these steps and make them your own? How can you apply them to your specific business, your unique audience, your goals?
So much to think about.
Right.
And for everyone listening, if you want to go even deeper into all of this, definitely check out Mick Black's book, Social Media Marketing, 9 Easy Steps. It's a fantastic resource.
Couldn't agree more.
Until next time, happy marketing, everyone.
Keep crushing it.